Sergeant Daniel Reyes never wanted a reward, he wanted his squad alive. The war against the Varelian Empire had burned across 3 systems and left cities floating as ash. In the dark, human ships were smaller, human shields were thinner, human bodies were fragile, but humans did not quit. Daniel had proven that on the burning plains of Karth, the Varelians had unleashed their royal guard there. Tall, silver-armored warriors, with eyes like molten gold, they rode beasts bred for vacuum and fire. They believed no human could stand before them. Daniel did. He held the line while civilians fled to orbit. He fought until his rifle melted in his hands. He fought until the sky cracked open with human reinforcements. When the smoke cleared, the royal guard lay broken. The Varelian High Queen demanded a ceasefire. Humans called it victory. The Varelians called it survival. 3 days later, Daniel stood in the grand hall of the Varelian capital. He wore a clean uniform that felt wrong on his scarred skin. Alien nobles watched him from tiered balconies. Their skin shimmered in shades of violet and blue. Their eyes flickered with emotions, too quick for him to read. At the center of the hall stood the High Queen. She was tall, even for her kind. Her crown was not metal, but living crystal grown from her own crest. When she spoke, her voice echoed without sound. Human soldier Daniel Reyes, you broke my royal guard. You shattered our advance. You preserved your people with courage that borders on madness. Daniel kept his posture straight. I did my duty. The Queen studied him as if he were a strange weapon. Among our kind, strength must be answered with strength. Loss must be answered with balance. You took from us warriors of royal blood. Her gaze shifted to the side. So we give to you royal blood. In return, the doors behind her opened. The princess entered like a storm. Her name was Kellis. Her skin shimmered midnight blue. Her long crest flowed behind her like liquid shadow. Her eyes burned bright silver. She did not bow. Her stare locked onto Daniel with open fury. Mother, this is humiliation. The Queen did not look at her. This is law. The human who defeats royal blood may claim royal bond. Kellis stepped forward. He is primitive. He is smaller. He bleeds red, like prey. Daniel met her gaze. I do bleed red. The hall went silent. The Queen raised one hand. From this moment, Princess Kellis is bound to the human soldier, Daniel Reyes. She will live among humans. She will observe them. She will strengthen the bond between our species. Daniel blinked. With respect, Your Majesty, I was not informed about this. A faint ripple passed through the nobles. The Queen tilted her head. That is why it is called a reward. Kellis turned to him. I am not a prize good. I do not want one. Her silver eyes narrowed. The Queen lowered her hand. It is decided. The ceremony ended. Daniel left the hall with an alien princess walking beside him like an angry comet. The human cruiser Resolute waited. In orbit, its crew watched in open shock as Daniel returned with royal escort. Private Ahmed whispered, Sir, did you steal her? Daniel shook his head. Apparently, I earned her. Kellis stepped onto the human ship and stiffened. The corridors were narrow. The air was dry. The lighting was harsh. She lifted her chin. Your vessel smells of iron and fuel. We like it that way. I do not. He stopped in front of the quarters assigned to her. This will be your room. She looked inside. It was simple. A bed, a desk, a viewport. You expect royalty to sleep here. It is the best we have. She turned on him. You defeated my guard through reckless tactics. You risked your life without calculation. You are either brave or foolish, probably both. Her eyes searched his face. Why did you fight so hard? Because people needed time to run. That is all. That is enough. Days passed. Kellis did not adjust easily. Human gravity was heavier than her own world. Human food lacked the mineral temps she preferred. Human voices were loud and blunt. She criticized everything. Your warriors laugh too freely. It keeps us sane. Your command structure is chaotic. It lets us adapt. Your technology is crude. It works. Daniel did not rise to her anger. He answered calmly. He treated her not as A prize, but as a person that unsettled her more than hostility would have one night, the ship received a distress signal. A human colony on the fringe was under attack by pirate remnants of the Verelian war fleet. Daniel moved to the bridge set. Course, full burn, Kellis, followed those pirates carry Verelian weapons. They will not show mercy, neither will we. The Resolute dropped from warp above the colony. Fires burned across the surface. Enemy ships circled like vultures. Daniel issued orders. With steady precision launch, fighters target engines disable, do not destroy. Khalees watched the tactical display. You hold back. There are civilians down there, debris would rain on them. Her silver eyes flickered. Verelian doctrine favors overwhelming. Annihilation, human doctrine favors coming home. The battle raged, enemy fire struck the Resolute. Alarms screamed, hull plating buckled. Daniel gripped the rail. Stay on target. A pirate cruiser broke through and descended toward the colony capital. Daniel swore softly. Prep a drop pod. Kellis stared at him. You cannot be serious. I am. He turned to her. You stay here. She stepped closer. You are outnumbered on the surface. Yeah, then I will join you. This is not your fight. It is now for a heartbeat. They stared at each other, then Daniel nodded. Fine. The drop pod tore through atmosphere like a falling star. They landed amid burning buildings. Pirate soldiers moved through smoke, firing at fleeing colonists. Daniel advanced without hesitation. Kellis moved beside him. Her movements were fluid and deadly. Her energy blade cut through armor like light through water. They fought back to back. Daniel fired, in controlled bursts. Kellis struck with precise, lethal grace. At one point, a pirate aimed at Daniel from behind. Kellis leaped and took the blast across her shoulder. Her armor cracked. She staggered. Daniel caught her. You are hurt. It is nothing. Blue blood seeped between her fingers. He dragged her behind cover. Why did you do that? Her voice was strained. Because you bleed red. He froze. She met his eyes. That is enough. Reinforcements arrived minutes later. The pirates retreated. The colony was saved in the medbay. Kellis lay on a human surgical table. Human doctors worked carefully over alien physiology. Daniel refused to leave when she woke. She found him still there. You stayed. Yeah, why? Because you are my responsibility. Her gaze softened. Am I only? That he hesitated. No, silence settled between them. Not hostile, not tense, something new. Weeks passed. Kellis began training with human marines. She learned their tactics, their improvisation, their stubborn refusal to yield. She laughed once during a sparring match. The sound surprised even her. Daniel watched from the sidelines. You are adapting. She crossed her arms. Do not sound so pleased. I am proud. The word hung in the air. She stepped closer. Among my people, pride is not given lightly. Among mine, neither. A message arrived from the Verelian capital. The High Queen requested a report. Kellis stood before the transmission screen. Daniel beside her. Her mother appeared in shimmering light. Daughter, have the humans dishonored you? Kellis lifted her chin. No. Have they treated you as spoil of war? No. Then, what have they given you? Kellis glanced at Daniel. They have given me choice. The Queen was silent. Explain. They fight not for conquest, but for each other. They argue, they laugh, they mourn openly. They protect the weak, even when it costs them. Her silver eyes shone. They are chaotic, they are reckless, they are infuriating. She reached for Daniel's hand. And they are strong. The Queen studied them both. And you, human, what have you gained? Daniel answered honestly. Perspective. And someone who calls me out when I am being stupid. A faint ripple of amusement moved across the Queen's crest. The bond appears balanced. Kellis faced her mother. Fully, I will remain here, not as payment, not as prize, as ambassador. The Queen inclined her head. Then our peoples may yet build something greater than war. The transmission ended. Kellis released a slow breath. You could have refused me. Daniel shrugged. You could have refused me. She stepped closer until only inches remained between them. I was wild when I arrived still. I was jealous of your loyalty to your own kind. You still should be. Her eyes softened now. I am part of that loyalty, he nodded. Yeah. You were outside, the viewport stars, stretched endless and bright. A human soldier and a Varelian princess stood. Side by side, not as conqueror and reward, not as enemies forced into truce, but as two warriors who had chosen each other. The war had ended with a gesture of balance. It would be remembered instead for something else, for the moment when strength met strength, and neither broke for the day a wild, jealous princess found honor among humans, and a human soldier discovered that the greatest reward was never a crown. It was a partner who would fight beside him under any sky.